Episode 9 was one of the most boring finales in Netflix reality dating show history. But episode 10 was one of the best reunions in modern television. Alright, welcome to Taste Take. If you're new here, we've been breaking down the Ultimatum, Queer Love. Today, we're talking about episodes 9 and 10, the finale and the reunion. If that's something you're into, hit that subscribe button for your boy. For my regular Taste Takers, let's see which one's more fire. These two episodes, or the air in New York City. Boom, episode 9. This one is the finale. And since we got all the way to the last episode, I figure it would be best to let you guys know right now that her name is Mal and not Mal. I don't know who would mess that up, but I'm just letting y'all know before you go out there and sound stupid. Anyway, we left off with Mal and Yoli. Molly. Mal got on one knee and proposed to Yoli, and I was 1,000% sure that Yoli would say no, and I was 1,000% wrong. For now. Yoli kind of sort of gets around to saying yes to Mal. Yoli gives her like the knowiest yes in the history of yeses, like since the beginning of time. And Mal has to bring up the fact that she knows that Xander is still a factor in the mix and that, Yoli has this love for Xander, which is like the last thing you want to be doing in the conversation of a proposal. Like, I don't want to do that. This is not the last we'll hear of Mal and Yoli, but right now we're on to Tiff and Mildred. Tildred. This experiment in toxicity has zero suspense because you can freaking see the bulge of that ring box poking out of Tiff's pants, which is like maybe a sign that your pants are too tight. Anyway, I won't spend too much time on these two, largely because they annoy me. Secondly, because their speeches are terrible. Oh, you're like the blend to my coffee. You're the milk to my cereal. You're the medication to my Kanye. Tiff gets down on one knee and proposes to Mildred. Mildred says yes. I'm surprised this engagement even lasted from the time where they were on the sand to where you go to the side of the beach where you rinse your feet off and then you still got sand on your feet because they don't always rinse all the way and there's still sand on your sandals. I'm surprised it lasted that long. Freaking Tiff is even all right, aren't you happy? You got what you wanted. Shouldn't it be we got what we wanted? Anyway, moving on to Sam and Aussie. Saucy. These two are going on and on about how different animals represent different family members. And for some reason, I understood this. Aussie, of course, is talking about how the idea of marriage still scares her, but now she can finally hear Sam. Then she tells a story about how penguins find their life mate. Then they go around searching for the perfect rock to give them. Then she proceeds to give Sam a rock. Straight out of the Chase playbook, if you ever watched The Perfect Match. I'm there watching nah, no way. This girl Sam thought she was getting a wedding ring and she ends up with one of those rocks you get when you go to the science museum, the gift shop. But it's all a freaking ruse because a couple minutes later, she pulls out an actual ring, which seemed to be like a mood ring, but it's a ring, man. Everybody don't got, Lexi dad money, but she proposes, Sam says yes. This is officially the most tame finale in finale history. Right now, we're 3 for 3. All right, now we're on to Vanessa and Xander. Vander. Xander's out there talking about how she doesn't know who she wants to give her heart to. Is anyone on the production team gonna tell her that Yoli already said yes to Mal? I think it'll make her decision just a little bit easier. She's talking about how she dreamt of proposing to Vanessa, but with both of them invested. And now she just doesn't see it that way. She's I thought we'd both be secure in our answer, but that's just not where we are right now. Xander tells her, I thought I could give you the world, but I know now that I can't. You deserve a lot more than I can offer you right now. How do we even get here? She was the one that gave the ultimatum. And now look at her. All this for Yoli? No way. Then Vanessa takes a move straight out of the Mal playbook where she's look, if it doesn't work out in this lifetime, then I'll find you in the next lifetime. I mean, it's a powerful line either way. I guess if you're gonna swagger jack a line, that's what I would swagger jack. Honestly, we know that this couple is probably not the most compatible because Vanessa wants what Vanessa wants, but like, I still can't believe I'm watching this breakup happen. And neither can Vanessa, because she's like, I can't believe you don't want to grow alongside me, unless this is about you exploring someone else. And yes, the hell it is, because then we cut over to Yoli, and she's like, I don't even know what I would do if Xander were to fight for me. Now Yoli and Xander meet up, and Yoli is not wearing the engagement ring that she just freaking got. Yoli's like, so what's up with you and Vanessa? Girl, what's up with you and your fiance? This whole scene is so crazy to watch. It just looks like they're on another one of their dates where they're all lovey-dovey, holding hands, hugging, and sniffing each other, getting all close with those Eskimo kisses and stuff like that. But like, Yoli is now engaged. So like, you can't like do that stuff anymore, you know? But she finally tells Xander like, Mal proposed to me earlier and I said yes. I wanted to take the ring off before I saw you, just so that you would still think I'm for the streets. Xander, of course, wants to know, like, do you feel confident in your choice? And Yoli's like, I don't know what to do. What you could have did was, like, not said yes to Mal. Like, that was, like, I think it was an option. Because, like, when someone proposes, you could say, like, yes. But then you can also say no. Anyway, then they're like, let's just walk out of here. And I'm like, are they about to just leave this show together and like leave Mal hanging? Number one, how is Mal even watching this show as it airs now? Like, how does that even look? And then like in the live moment after proposing and getting a yes from your partner, what is she doing while freaking Yoli is flirting with Xander? I can tell you what she's probably doing. Calling all the homies, saying she said yes, calling her family, saying she said yes. You gotta pick your little wedding party. Like, she's doing all that stuff. Meanwhile, Yoli is ringless, damn near smooching with another girl. It's probably the best dating show of all time. Yoli says, I'm not in love with Mal like I'm in love with Xander. Then can I just ask one more time why you... Nah. I don't want to beat a dead horse. Anyway, finally, subtly, Yoli makes it clear that Xander is not going to steal it away from Mal. She's sticking with her choice. They're going to try to work it out. She lets Xander walk away into the sunset. I'm thinking we're moving on to the next couple. But no. Freaking Yoli's like, Xander, come back. Like, just like in the movies when they, when they go to the airport and then they just running through the thing and they're like, it was always you. She makes this girl Xander walk all the way back for one more hug. Man, what the hell? If you call me back after a dramatic departure, it's because you realize we should be together. Anyway, that was pretty much it. On to Ray and Rexy. So Ray is getting her speech on. She's reminding everyone that, like, obviously I'm not the most sure of all this stuff. I'm always questioning things and I wasn't comfortable with marriage, but like, I know you're my person because you're willing to eat all the creepy looking oysters and the creepy looking calamari, and I get to eat the cute ones. It's true love. But at the end of the speech, she says, losing you is not an option. I choose you. Ray freaking gets down on one knee and proposes to Lexi. It's cute. Lexi says yes. Lexi is actually the first person, I think, may have to watch it back, but Lexi's like the only person that said like yes, clearly, like out loud, the word yes. Everyone else was shaking their head and like in it and hugging and all that. Lexi was like, yes. Not only that, freaking Lexi, of course, the freaking teacher's pet, got to take it another notch because Lexi pulls out her own ring, gets down on her knee, and proposes to Ray. It's all very confusing, but I guess it's cute. Also, if my dad was a jeweler, this man got rings for the whole show. But for his sake, I hope he don't got a return policy. Huh? What'd you say? So there you have it. The finale. 5 couples, only 1 breakup. This is like shooting at a very high clip. This is pretty smooth sailing. Even the 1 breakup wasn't even that breakup-y. Like, they still was cool. Let's just check in to see how everybody's doing. Boom, episode 10. This is the reunion. And if you don't put your freaking seatbelt on, I can't save you. Just buckle up. All right, you start this freaking reunion, you don't know anything. You're just seeing everybody's outfit. Everyone's just getting settled in. You see the host, everybody's just chilling. We find out that the reunion took place about a year after the finale. And you don't know anything yet, but you know that Mal don't look happy to be there. I don't want to read into it, but that's the first thing that I thought. Lexi and Ray are the first couple to get their reunion check-in, and they seem happy. Ray is being Ray, and Lexi's boobs are boobing like they never boobed before. They tell us that everything's good, their wedding planning, and Joanna, our host, is like, wow, that's so nice to hear. Let's talk about Fingergate. Like, Joanna, man, a little transition, man. They was just talking about how they were doing good, man. But this is exactly the kind of hosting we want to see from Nick and Vanessa Lachey. And of course, Fingergate was when Vanessa and Ray were in their trial marriage and they got intimate. So in this reunion, Lexi's just basically apologizing for how vulgar she was in calling out Vanessa, which was nice of her to do. And I don't know what's got into Vanessa. This is Vanessa 3.0. Like, Vanessa's like, yeah, and I'm sorry for, the role that I took part in that, and we didn't have to do any of that. Like, we didn't have any feelings for each other. We shouldn't have even hooked up. Vanessa, is that you in there? So grown, so mature, lips a little bit fuller, and that's not important, but just something that I was looking at. So they're on this whole Fingergate thing, and I'm at home like, yep, any minute now, this is where our host is supposed to ask Lexi why she asked Mal to have sex with her, but nope, never happened. Then we move on to our next group, and we find out that not only are Vanessa and Xander not back together, but they don't even talk no more, like, at all. This whole time, Vanessa's talking about how sad it is that Xander's not in her life anymore and how, like, she misses her. And I'm watching Xander, like, not make any expression. Like, not sad, not happy, just, like, stoic. I don't think I ever used that word before. So, yeah, like, right at that moment where I'm like, yo, Xander's like a real thug. Vanessa's like, you're my fucking buddy. And then, boom, Xander cracks under the pressure. And those eyes start to well up. And she admits that Vanessa is also her best friend. Yeah, and then they were friends again. And that was it. It was cool. All right, on to Mal and Yoli. And of course, we just watched all these episodes of Yoli being a creep, and especially in that freaking finale where, like, Mal had just proposed, Yoli says yes, and then Yoli goes out there canoodling with Xander. So we're all watching that, and we're like, all right, let's see how they done got through it. And like sometimes in these shows, they'd be like, well, it was tough to watch, and she apologized, blah, blah, blah. No. Joanna was like, all right, so what's y'all status? Mal says they are happily broken up. I mean, I could have called it, but it's still kind of shocking to hear. So yeah, I'm at home like, yeah, Mal's gonna be like, honestly, watching this show back, I couldn't do it. Yoli, you are not it. And you dragged this whole Xander thing. No. They broke up 2 weeks after the proposal. Then Yoli's like, no, it wasn't 2 weeks. Then Mal, for like the first time in a while, like put her foot down. She's like, oh yeah, you can tell from watching the show like how good your track record is with telling the truth. Honestly, if I haven't said it before, Mal is easily the most put together person on this entire show. She has 0 red flags, from what I can see from watching a TV show. Maybe, does Mal have the least red flags in all of Netflix reality dating shows? That's a question for you guys out there. I'm trying to think. There's nice people, but like Mal's just like cool and self-aware. Then she bosses up even more because she's like, Yoli, all you did was show the world how good of a partner I am and how great of a mother I can be. That part. Wait a minute. Y'all hear that? I think there's some water boiling for this upcoming tea. Because Mal's like, you know what? I didn't even trip about this whole Xander thing. I think you and her deserve to try to make it work in the wild. Then here goes Vanessa. Oh, they did try. Then Yoli's over there steaming in the corner like, you just couldn't wait to bring that up, could you? Was that your big reveal, Vanessa? Yoli is the freaking worst because she's out there talking about, oh yeah, we talked a little bit, we had a couple DMs, it was no big deal. Then Vanessa's like, oh, that's crazy because like, I could have sworn you guys were talking about going to Hawaii together. Yoli's like, what the fuck are you even talking about? Now I know you're crazy. You gotta stop making stuff up, Vanessa. That's why nobody likes you. You said something like that. Then here goes my buddy Vanessa 3.0. Xander, can you confirm this? Xander's like, yes. Now all of a sudden Yoli's like, oh, okay, yeah. We did kind of talk about going to Hawaii. Yeah. We did. I forgot about that. I thought you had said, did we talk about going to the moon? because we did not do that. We started with Vanessa, we moved on to Lexi, and we ended up with Yoli, who's causing nothing but trouble. But that little dust up was nothing in comparison to the heavyweight fight that we got coming up. Okay, I want a real clean fight. I want all the tea spilt, but no hitting below the belt. I want all the juicy details, but no biting. Okay? Okay, now touch gloves. Immediately we find out that Tiff and Mildred are not together. Nothing about that is shocking. I don't even know why they proposed to her. Nobody ever listens to me. This fight is so sloppy and juicy. I wish I could comment on every little jab that was thrown, but it's too much to keep up with. They're talking about everything. Basically, Mildred's like, look, after the show, Tiff moved into my house and nothing ever happened with wedding planning. And then I would just bring stuff up about us moving our relationship forward and I would just get shut down. I would ask Tiff hey, maybe we should get a joint bank account. Maybe you should get a job. Tiff's out there fighting for their life no, I had a job. Honestly, you probably didn't have a job if she's willing to say that. Mind you, this whole thing came up after that freaking dog montage where apparently Tiff's dog, Shiloh, was in bad shape. And Tiff reached out to Mildred's family to let them know hey, it's not looking good, just whatever. Mildred's mad that because they broke up, don't talk to my family, which is kind of fair. But if your family likes my dog, then I just want to let them know. It's always weird though. I'll hear people talk about all the time, how they break up with someone and they still talk to their family. I guess it's cool. Not for them though. Them is not cool. Then watch this. Remember when I told you guys to put your freaking seatbelts on? Did y'all listen? Are y'all wearing your seatbelts? I can't go forward until I can check. All right, but tighten it though. Then Mildred accuses Tiff of asking her to split the rent in 3 ways. Mildred, Tiff, and Mildred's son. Yes, you heard that correctly. The third split would be for Mildred's special needs teenager. I don't know if I can move forward yet. I gotta let that simmer. Cause that's not the craziest thing I've heard all season. Tiff's out there well, I don't remember having that conversation. Mind you, Yoli's out there nodding her head that ain't her signature move. Yoli, this is not the time for you to be jumping in. Just read the room. You just got the heat off you. You might want to just chill for a little. Anyway, as soon as I finish processing that crazy moment, we find out that Mildred threw a glass picture frame and some other stuff at Tiff. Tiff calls the police. The police pull up and arrest Mildred in her own crib. Well, let me just give me another second to let me just process that, because what I had just processed wasn't even really fully processed. Then I had to just process on top of that. I need a new processor. Mildred said the cops took her engagement ring off and she never put it back on. Sheesh. No, but wait a minute. Did y'all think that fight was done? No. We're going 12 rounds. Because then we find out that Tiff called Mildred a trash mom. On top of that, after they broke up, Tiff is still living in Mildred's house because she's broke. Tiff decides to get on dating apps and bring women into Mildred's house to hook up. Tiff is of course denying this, but Mildred claims that she found eyeliner along with sex board games. This shit is so wild. They're going back and forth and everyone in the room is looking back and forth like it's the freaking US Open. I just can't even I can't capture everyone's facial expression. Even the freaking host is reacting to this. Also, if it was Nick and Vanessa Lachey hosting this, Vanessa would be okay, so what I'm hearing is you're not gonna have kids? Anyway, the shit finally officially hits the fan when Mildred tells Tiff, every time you talk, it hurts my ears. And we have our first walk-off. Tiff has left the building. It ain't a real reunion until you get a walk-off. Sam, being a real one, goes after them to see if they're okay. Good on you, Sam. Joanna asks Mildred, where are you in your healing process? And Mildred's it's moving along. What even is this? I don't even know how you follow that up or why they just weren't last, but we got to talk about Sam and Aussie, and they are still doing well. They're still engaged, all that. Apparently, Aussie's family still does not know about Sam or that she's queer. They don't have TV. How you go on a TV show and your family don't know? I guess maybe they were waiting till it aired. Or maybe they really cracked down on that password sharing, so they just don't got Netflix no more, but yeah. And that's pretty much it. At the end, they just do that normal round table where everyone's like talking about how they like the experience and whether they would do it again. And pretty much everyone was like thankful for the opportunity and like the experience. And then Joanna thanks them all for putting their trust in the ultimatum. And that's the end of the episode. Only thing is, it's not the end of the freaking episode. As soon as the freaking curtains close, you get a prompt that says, shortly after filming the reunion, Lexi and Ray have decided to end their relationship. When I tell you, you know you got tea when you squeezing out tea in the credits. And that breakup is pretty shocking. When you watch the show, they seem whatever fine. And when you watch the reunion, they seem like as good as they've ever been. But that's not the shocking part. And I gotta shout out Liz, one of my trusted tape takers, as well as Skull and Cages on TikTok. This dude is blind, and he's watching. This dude is blind, and the show's on, and he's experiencing it with like the audio that like describes what's happening. In his version, you hear a little something different.
A monitor displays a title, The Ultimatum. Shortly after filming the reunion, Lexi suspected that Ray was cheating on her. They called off the wedding.
How does that even happen? I'm like, why? Oh, and you can test this too. If you have Netflix, you can go in there, go to the settings, and in like the little closed caption settings, just click in audio descriptions. Ray cheats? As always, thanks for checking out Taste Take. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like and that subscribe button. In the comments, let's just talk about these 2 episodes. It is a lot. It is a lot, man. I don't even know where to start, but y'all help me out. I asked some questions earlier. Let's talk about that. I want to give a huge shout out to anyone who discovered my videos in this Ultimatum saga. Try to stick around. I talk about a lot of different stuff, not just dating shows, movies, TV shows, documentaries. So just stick around. And I got to give a huge shout out to all the taste takers in Zambia. Y'all reached out. I got to show love. Thanks for the time, y'all. Peace. If they had footage of that girl getting arrested, my God. Who's even the bad guy then? Also, why is my son paying rent at 16? Special needs. Damn, she's broke.